Hi, I'm Mikaela, and this is Love Mikaela, a podcast where I talk about literally anything and everything I want to. The day that this comes out is actually New Year's Eve, I believe. Yeah, New Year's Eve. Just double checking. I'm kind of all topsy turvy with the dates and what day it is at this point. Because the holidays have kind of been crazy for me. Just crazy busy. Like, not crazy in a bad way, just like busy. Like, I've been so busy, I haven't been able to rest, which is why I'm running late on my gaming video, or I ran late on it. I try to put it out. I'm trying to put it out. I literally have to try and edit it so I can get it out the next day. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Anyway, not super important. So today, because it's New Year's Eve, I thought it was the perfect day. It just kind of lines up perfectly for me to talk about my journal. This is my journal. I would say 2020-ish, 2021. What year is it? It's 2023. Okay, maybe 2022. Basically, like last year I was pretty this last year I was pretty diligent about it. I think the past 3 years I've been a little bit more diligent about trying to keep a journal, because I realized that as time was passing, especially after I graduated college, I kind of just felt like I wasn't doing anything all the time. Like I wasn't getting anything done. I wasn't productive. When in reality, I was dealing with, at the time, the beginnings of figuring out how to navigate my body with my migraine situation and daily headache situation. And so I couldn't do as much. But I really felt like I was doing nothing when in reality, I was doing lots of like little things. But like because they weren't these big, overarching, like things, projects, goals that I had accomplished or completed, I didn't feel like I was doing anything with my time. And it just made me not feel great about myself. Not that productivity is like the main and most important thing of being a human and being alive, but I mean for some people, myself included, it has a big part in how you feel your quality of life is. And so because I felt like I wasn't productive, it felt like I wasn't really doing anything with my life. And so to combat that, I decided to start keeping a journal, not like journal as in dear diary, this is how I felt today, blah 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 blah, like so and so said this to me, like not like that, not about emotions. I think those work for some people. I tried journaling. I feel like lots of people do this. They try journaling, keeping, a notebook of thoughts and things that are going on in their life for their whole life. Like I've been trying to do this since I was younger, because I always thought it was cool when people could go back and like read through those. Cool and maybe embarrassing, I don't know. But every time I would try to start one and it was like that, like a traditional like dear diary, today I blah 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 blah. I just couldn't keep up with it. It was like annoying and it was boring and I didn't like it and it wasn't helpful for me, and then I would get frustrated every time I started one and then didn't finish it. I had like all these like not even half full, like quarter full journals that I was like, what am I going to do with this now? I didn't even finish it and it just made me feel bad. So instead of doing that, and because my newest problem was feeling like I wasn't being productive and doing anything with my life, even though I was, I decided to change the way that I was journaling. I also did try to do the route of doing one of the journals like on your phone, or one that's like on a laptop, like a digital one. That didn't work for me either. I made a whole Notion. If you know Notion, you know. You can create like this whole thing with it, and I did that and I wasn't keeping up with it. The only part of it that I actually keep up with like actively, which I'm honestly even behind on it with, like I think I need to add 2 more shows to it, is my media section. I record like all the shows I watched. I give it a rating. I give like my thoughts and feelings on it. I say like what genre it was, and then I also like it keeps my list of like when I started it, when I finished the drama, so I know how long it took me to watch it. What else is on there? And then you can do like finished, to be watched, like currently watching, and then like did not finish. I only have like 3 or 4 did not finishes on there. I really try to finish them because unless it's really, really bad, like I'm like interested, I want to at least know what happened, even if I start to get like annoyed with it. Anyway, so my media section is kind of the only thing that I keep up with on there. I was keeping up with it. It was also a good way to log my auditions and how I felt about those, because like when you're an actor and auditioning, like you do so many auditions and it's not even about like the most important part isn't that, I mean, you want to book them, but that doesn't happen a lot. So the better way, and I think the healthier way to take care of that, not take care of it, but to think about it and reflect on it is just how did you personally feel you did, and as long as you felt that you did a really good job with it, then that's all that matters. So I would keep track of that and how I felt about each audition, and whether I was like, oh, I could have done a little bit better, I think, but I was on a time crunch, or I really nailed this one, I'm really happy with it, and even if I don't get it, I know I did good work, and hopefully they liked my acting, like stuff like that. Anyway, that's what my notion is for at this point. But I did try to keep, I have like a media section, I have my audition work section, I have, my planner section, I have a health section that I don't keep up with, like skincare and stuff like that. Like, what did I use? What worked? It's all there. I just don't use it. I have a budget tracker that I try to keep up with, but then when I start to fall behind, I just let it go for months, and then I try to backlog. Anyway, this is what works best for me is a physical journal. I had previously been using, I have them down there, that's why I'm looking down there. I've been previously using the BTS Seasons Greetings packages that come out, and they, I think the first time I diligently kept up with a journal, as daily as I could for the first time I was doing it was when I got one from, I was going through what I got in the Seasons Greetings, and I was like, oh, these always all come with a journal, a planner. And I was like, I'm spending all this money on this product, and I'm just watching the making of and then looking at the pretty pictures in the calendar, the calendars are nice. But I have this journal, I'm not doing anything with it, and it's a waste of my money to not utilize every single thing. I'm trying to be better about when I buy things, because K-pop is when you're a K-pop stan, it's just being a consumer constantly. So I'm trying to be a lot better about actually using the stuff they give you, because when you get something, you're like, this is so precious. I don't want to use it. I don't want to ruin it. What if I want to use it later? That's how I am with everything. But with K-pop stuff, especially even just stickers, I'm like, oh, I don't want to use it just yet. What if I need it later? And it's like, no, use it. Use it, girl. Go. I'm trying to be better about what I'm actually using when I spend money on things. So I started with that, and at that time it was a feelings thing. I would just kind of write not a full entry, but just how did I feel today? Did something big happen today? And if not, just how did I feel? Just in general, a one sentence summary would be fine. Or if there was a big feeling and I felt like I could write about it, I would. I think my biggest issue was always just sometimes I just didn't feel like I had anything to write about feeling wise, which, I mean, it's not great. You should try to be aware of how you're feeling every day. But life happens, and sometimes that's just not feasible. So I did pretty okay with that. And then when did I even transition into? I think once, probably 2020 is the year that I transitioned to, okay, I need to start being keeping track of how I'm being productive, or just what I'm getting done during the day, so that I don't feel like I'm just kind of wasting away and not doing anything. So what I started doing, and what I've kept doing and have just tweaked a little as time has gone on, is I will make a list of just a bullet pointed list of what I did that day. And it could be I'll write, if I didn't really do that much that day, I will still write all the little things that I did. So I'll write, made my bed, I stretched for 15 minutes, I did a workout, I did my skincare, I ate breakfast, I did some laundry, I folded some clothes, I edited a video, obviously not at that time, but even just the littlest things I would record, because especially at that time when I was starting to figure out how I could live my life, that I had this new painful condition. um, I was like, how do I navigate this and not feel like I'm not as good as I was before? And when you're dealing with that much pain on such a constant basis, it's really hard to even just get out of bed and make your bed. And so I started just recording all of the little things that I would be doing. I would just write down all the little things I did, and it would make me feel better about okay, so even though I didn't complete some big project today, I did get out of bed, I made my bed, I did all of my skincare, I even did a little stretch, just doing little things I did the dishes. Recording little things like that can help you feel like you're doing better, and maybe it's just the little serotonin boost you get when you check off things on a list. But I think any little thing you can do to make your life just a little bit more fun, or a little bit better, or make you feel a little bit better, I don't think there's any harm in that, especially when it's not harming anyone else. And also people don't I don't think it matters if you have a chronic pain condition or not. These little things that you have to do throughout your day and throughout your week, throughout your life, they add up. Like you might be like when you have a weekend and like you have work off and you're like, oh, I did, like someone asked you the next Monday, what'd you do this weekend? You're like, oh, I did nothing this weekend. Because in your head, you're like, oh, well, I didn't go out. There was a movie out, but I didn't go see it because I was too tired. And you're like, I didn't really do anything. I just kind of hung out at home. But when you're hanging out at home, maybe you're meal prepping. You're maybe doing some stretching. Maybe you're catching up on a show that you really like. Maybe you're doing your laundry or you're doing some dishes or you did a deep clean of one room of your house or multiple rooms of your house or you vacuumed the whole house. You're still doing all these little things even though you're like, oh, well, I did nothing. But it's like you didn't do nothing. You actually did do a lot of little somethings. So even though it wasn't some big event that you went and did and you didn't leave your house, you were still doing lots of little things. Those all add up. Like you'll be like, oh, I don't know why I'm so tired. It's like, oh, well, maybe because you did the dishes, you did 2 loads of laundry that you'd been waiting on, you folded all the clothes that were already washed, and you dusted your room and you tidied up your bathroom a little bit. Like those are all little things that in your head, like you might not think do anything to you or your energy or your body, but they do, and they add up, especially if you're doing a lot of little things in a span of time. And so when I came to realize that, I was like, I just need to write this down for myself so that I know I feel better about myself. And that might not be the case for everyone, but it was for me. So that's what I did. I would write down every little thing that I was doing that day. And sometimes I will even write down I relaxed, I rested, I watched 2 episodes of this show I like. Because those are things that you're still doing during your day. You're still doing something, whether it's productive in the traditional sense or not, you're still doing something. And writing those things down were really helpful for me to realize, like, oh no, I'm doing something. I'm living every single day, whether it's productive or it seems like a lot or not. Like we're not on a steady incline our entire lives. Like it's going to go up and down and up and down and up and down, even just within your day. And I think it's important to recognize that and to give yourself credit for just living life. Life can be hard and it can be fun, but it can be hard. And if you're someone like me and you need to remind yourself that you are living and doing things and breathing and all this stuff, then write it down. It might be helpful. I also am someone who like was starting to forget things all the time because I was like the days were just melding together because I felt like I wasn't doing anything. But when I write them down, it's a lot easier to distinguish days from each other. And sometimes I'm so busy that I can't distinguish the days from each other, and I'm so busy and I don't write it down, and then that makes it harder. Like I'm just gonna look right now. Let me see. Yeah, I haven't filled in anything since last Friday. So for me, that is the 22nd. Today is currently the 28th. So there's 6 days that I haven't filled in on here, but within that span of time, a lot happened. And so I don't blame myself for not, like, I don't beat myself up if I miss sections, like, especially when this holiday season started to approach. Like, I don't know where it is. I had a really busy week at work. Like I'm not gonna show all of this because there's a lot of like, not personal, because again I don't write my feelings in here. I just write down bulleted stuff of what I did that day. But I just feel like, I don't know, it feels too personal to be sharing online. But like on my Sunday the 10th of December, I just wrote IDK bro because I don't know what I did. I don't remember, and that's okay. But like looking, like if I look back, whoa, I don't even know what this section is. The journal that I started using because BTS didn't have a season's greeting for 2023 was, I just bought one that I saw people review and that I thought was cute, and it seemed to have all the stuff I needed in it. I don't know what this, so but it's got Korean in it, and as much as I'm trying, I don't fully know everything. So like this, I don't mind showing. I'm gonna try and film inserts of the not filled in journal that I have, because I don't really fully have a plan for this video. I just wanted to talk about my journal and how I'm keeping track of my year, and like maybe look back on it with you and just kind of go through it and relive whatever I have written down here, because I don't really know all of it. And then also go through my new journal and show you guys how I set up my journals now. And because if it's helpful for someone, that's cool. And then if it's not, I mean, it's not, but maybe you'll get an idea from it. So yeah, but this one I don't mind showing. I'm gonna try and film inserts and put them in when I talk about filling in my journal in a hot minute. But first I'm gonna talk about this. Like this whole section, I don't know if it'll focus on it or not. Let me hide my face. this whole section. I don't know if you can read. My handwriting is also really awful, so sorry about that. Also, if you're just listening, you can't see it. Sorry. But like the whole week, I just wrote, I don't know what happened. Referred to the week before because I think I did it all on the wrong day and I wrote it back there. So like when I switch months, it gets a little wonky sometimes. And I do write some stuff in here that's or like, oh no, that's not empty. I do write some stuff in here that's like feeling stuff if I like really had some big feelings that day, but I don't always. So, but like it's full. It's full. Like, and I have my stickers, but like, oh, that's empty. You can just quickly flip through it. Yeah. So sometimes I don't always write stuff down, but I don't beat myself up over it just because there's not any use in doing that. Like, what would be the point of beating myself up over it because I didn't finish it? Like, there's no point. It's just gonna make me feel worse. And the point of this is to make me feel better. So that's not what I'm doing. But yeah, I bullet point everything that I did. So let me even just flip to a random day. Okay, so this is July. This one's pretty full. But July, I just put like Monday I wrote I slept in. Oops, because I wasn't supposed to sleep in. I did a mini workout. I got dressed. I did my skincare. I called the pharmacy. Don't know why, but I had to call the pharmacy, I guess. I did my makeup and hair. I went to the bank. I came home and I ate lunch. I watched TV with my mom. Something with my bachan. I think I visited my bachan and then I had a call from Mark, who's my agent. We went to McDonald's. This is in July, so before everything. We went to McDonald's and we went home and then we ate it and then my aunt dropped by and then me and my mom watched TV and had dinner. It's just bullet pointed lists of like what I did. The thing that changed is actually, I wish I could pull. Give me a minute. Okay. You don't know, but because I just cut it out, but I got a ringing in my ear. But I cut it out because but I just had to go and grab, which this isn't even fully filled out. I thought I filled this one out like crazy, but I guess I didn't. A little? Huh. I went and grabbed one of the season greeting calendars. This is 2020. It's not fully filled out. So I must have a 2021 one. That doesn't make any sense. I must have a 2020. Give me a minute. Okay, so this is my 2021 from BTS. This is my 2021. So 2020 is, again, when I said I think I started keeping up with it. So I have some, like, journaling stuff in here. But, like, there's a lot of blank pages as well. I don't even know if you can see it because of the lighting and stuff. Workout page. I had a workout page. Let's see what this is. I just had what day was this? So this is January 2021, so there's not really anything in there. So the way that I kept this one was definitely more of a planner than anything. What was cool about this season's greetings is it came with a yearly. Oh, I didn't do that. It came with a yearly plan section. I don't really want to show it because I have like stuff in there. With the months in it, so I was able to write down my months and kind of what I wanted to do. And first I wrote out full sentences, but then as time went on, I just bullet pointed it because it made it easier for me. And then you can see. Okay, I'm gonna cover this because this is personal. This is January, and so I've got a bunch of stuff written in there. A lot of it is BTS, the activities that happened. And then on the side, I wrote down how I felt about the month. And then you see, like, it gets a little bit crazier. I don't even know what half of these mean, but I have different, like, I just put my events and I would put, like, what was happening that day. So the biggest jump that I had in 2020, I guess, is that I would use the end of the month to reflect on the past month and how that went, and I would write down, like, how I felt about that. And that's actually something that I have kept as time has gone on. But everything else is kind of... And I kept up with my workout stuff on there. But I use my Notion for that now. Well, I'm supposed to, but I don't. So then I used... This is 2021 season greetings. And this one is a lot more similar to how I do it now. I'm just going to kind of hold it back. because there's like personal stuff on here. But filled out, so it's like each day has their own little section. And then this one was cool because up here it has a little like checklist. So for the week, I would write out my top 3 things that I wanted to get done that week. You can't really see it again because I'm trying to not expose myself. And I would check it off when I got it done. It's just like full of pages. I know you can't really see it, but it's just full of pages. And then I have at the very end, which is what I still keep, I would write little, like if something big happened or I was just feeling like it or there were special days, I would write little letters out to myself. I have a thank you 2021 Mikaela. I should do that. And did I welcome the new year? I thanked past me. It was New Year's Eve of that year. And I just thanked past me for the year that I had and what I'd gone through and how I grew, not how I grow. And then it also was nice. It had a section of like a big calendar. So I would write out my goals for the month on one side, and then in the extra space I would write out my reflection of how I felt that month, and then just like a regular planner I would write out like what I had to do during the day. But like you can see that January was like full, like I fully filled it out because I was keeping up with it, and then February has like nothing in here. And so, you know, but I don't beat myself up over it if I miss a day or if I don't fill things out. Like, look at this. It's practically empty. So that was 2022. 2021. I don't know where my 2022 one is. It's under there somewhere. I had to go dig for them because I thought they were all in one spot and then they weren't. But this is my 2023 diary, and I really love it because I was able to kind of use what was working for me before and kind of upgrade all of it, which is why I ended up this is going to be my 2024 journal, diary, whatever you want to call it. It's the exact same one. It's just this one has a clasp. It's like $2 more for the clasp, and I was like, I don't really need it. And it's but I got white instead of black. They have like 4 colors, I think, so I'll probably try and do the next color next time. I'll do inserts of this later. But so this is my 2023 journal. It's almost full. There's definitely lots of blanks in here. But I really loved it because I was able to keep my I'm trying to find one that's not going to expose me. Okay. I'm going to read through it. Okay. So what I do now is, because this one, you can fully fill it in yourself. Like it's the reason why it's specified for 2023 and 2024 is just because they include a calendar at the very front of it. So I guess theoretically I could buy another one for next year because they'll have 2020. Like that one has 2024, 2025. But it has the calendar in the very front. I don't use that for anything. It's just to like if you want to keep track of dates. But every other thing is its own, like you fill it in yourself. And so I was able to kind of personalize it the way I needed to. I'm going to show the inserts, I'm going to look at the one that I already filled in, but I'll try and put inserts up of, if you want to see it, of the blank one, so I can just show you the areas of where I put things. Yeah. So what I do is there's a section, and it is like a month page, basically kind of like my BTS one, where it has like a little month section. It has like a side where you can fill things in, and then you have like just your blank regular calendar kind of look. So on the regular calendar, I fill in all the numbers and the days, and I just write down whatever I have to do that day. And then on the side, which I need to fill in my December one now. Crazy that the year is like literally already done. Literally when this goes up, it'll be done, basically. And then on the side, I will put my goals for that month. I don't necessarily reflect on how I was feeling the past month. If I really want to do that, I can. Like, there's plenty of space to do that, but I don't. Usually, I will write down, I'll bullet point out 3 things. I try not to do more than 3. Sometimes I do more than 3, but I try not to, just because I feel like that's too much to ask of yourself, at least for me personally. But I'll bullet point 3 things. So for December, I have YouTube, trying to keep up with that. Christmas, because that happened, and workouts. That didn't happen, so I'm going to have to reflect on that and write what I think I can do better next time. But you don't beat yourself up over it. But then at the end of the month, I will I just write down like the 3 things that I'm like, okay, these are the things that I want to make sure I take care of. Or try to take care of if I can. And I leave it blank. I just bullet point like the main idea of it. So it just says YouTube Christmas workouts. That's all that it says. Then at the end of the month, I will go back and reflect on, was I able to accomplish these goals, or like how far was I able to get through these, or if I didn't get to it, what can I do better, and that kind of a thing. Just to kind of reflect on how the month went. So I do that every month. And then this section is super fun. I don't mind sharing this. But I'll show it in the insert anyway. But like, just if you're looking at this now, I'm gonna put this here in front of my face. There's this section. No, I'm just gonna do the insert. There's a section where it has like basically 2 checklists, one on each side of the page, and I use that for all the things that I want to get done that month, like the more detailed things. So like one of my things that I wrote for my overarching thing for December was YouTube. So I have podcast 8, podcast 9, podcast 10, podcast 11, blah 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 blah. Gaming 1, gaming 2, gaming 3, gaming extra. I didn't get to my gaming extra, but that's okay. And my gaming 3 is late, but hopefully I'll be able to get it done in time. I have 2 monologues. I didn't do either of those, so I'm not gonna get to check those off. I had a class that I wanted to, like an acting class I wanted to retake. I didn't get to do that. I have my take cover, which should already be up by now. If it's not, then I don't get to check that off. Anything that I don't check off, I then move to the next month, because every single, like after every month calendar section, there is a checklist page. So I just add it to the next month if I didn't get to it, or if it's been on there for a while, I haven't gotten it done, then I need to kind of reevaluate whether I still want to get that accomplished, or whether it's something that I'm just going to need to put off to the side and kind of forget about for a while. Like maybe there's a reason I didn't get to it. Maybe I'm not as passionate about it. Maybe I'm approaching it in a different way. Like it's like maybe it's one specific thing, but I actually flipped it and now I'm going to do this instead. Sometimes it changes. And so you just have to kind of reevaluate. But I don't like beat myself up if I don't get something done. I just move it to the next month if I can, or if I think it's not really as important anymore, then I don't move it. And then during the so there's the month section, there's a checklist right after that, and then right after that are the like individual day sections. So for those, it shows off basically your whole week, Monday through Sunday. And so in the first section, it has like where you write the month that it is. And then in the very top, right next to that, I put my 3 bullet points for that week. If you'll see, I try to keep things in threes. I feel like 3 is a manageable number, aside from my big checklist, but that's because those are like the little branches of my big 3 main goals. Which now that I'm looking at it, I had workouts for one of my main goals for December, but I don't have like anything workout related on my mini checklist. So maybe that is something to reflect on and think back on how I can add more mini things on my checklist. So that way I feel like it's broken down into steps instead of just workout. Maybe that'll make it more manageable for me. But stuff like that, you can reflect on it and see like what's going to work for you, what didn't work for you, what was working for you, and what can you change. I think it's a good way to just kind of stay active in the growth of yourself and what you want to get done in your life, or just in your day-to-day. But yeah, so the next section is a week. So I write my 3 things that I want to do for that week. So I don't have anything written for this week because I didn't finish last week, so it's not done. But last week, which was right before Christmas happened, because I celebrate Christmas personally, I had hangouts because I had some stuff I wanted to do. Like I had people I wanted to hang out with. I had a Christmas prep, and then YouTube, and those are my things. I don't think I got YouTube done, but I feel like as long as even if I could just get 1 thing done from the week, it's good. But 2 is like my goal. I want to at least get 2, and then the third one's kind of thrown in there as like, try to get this done. If it doesn't happen, though, I'm not going to beat myself up over it. And I don't put them in like a rank. It's not like the hangouts were more important than YouTube. It's just like that's just the order that I have them in. It doesn't really matter for me. And then underneath that, I'll bullet point those 3 main things. I'll add 3 extra bullet points and make space so I can reflect on whether I got those done that week, what worked, what didn't work, anything that I feel about that. Or like sometimes like, because I didn't have work last week, so it wasn't my bullet point, but usually work is one of my bullet points just because like I know it's going to take a lot out of me to go to work, and it takes a lot of time. So like I'll have work, and then usually I'll just put like, yay, I did it, or oh, this was a rough day, but the other day was a good day, or anything like that. I'll just write whatever I felt. So I do a little, I do a little bit of the feeling side of things, but I don't like, that's not my main goal. My main goal is bullet pointing out what I did. It truly is just about me keeping track of like what I did with my life. But yeah, so I really love this particular journal because it just kind of has space for everything that I need. I can plan out my goals for the month and keep track of what I need to do that month. I can plan out what I want to do for that week, and then I can write down what I did that day. And then I also have a separate notepad that I keep track of my days, and I break down further. So I don't do it in this particular journal just because I want to keep them separate. And sometimes I don't always have goals that I want to get done for the, like, I'll have goals that I want to get done for the week, but not necessarily, I'm like, I have something to do every day. Because sometimes I, like, want to take it, I want to relax and take a chill pill, like, just hang out. Like, that's what I've been doing this week. I mean, I haven't been just hanging out. I've been doing a lot of, like, family stuff and, like, holiday stuff. So I have a separate sheet where I then break down my days further into 3 more things of daily, the 3 things that I want to do. So basically the way it's all broken down is I have a notepad, that's my daily, what are the 3 things I want to get done? And then at the top of that notepad, I'll write down what I wrote my 3 things were for the week. So I have 3 things every day that I try to get done if I'm in that planning mood. If I'm not in that mood, like this week, I've just kind of been like, I've got so much stuff to do that I can't make my own personal goals, like things like I don't want to make myself feel bad about not being able to check stuff off a list. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow and get done what I can and like make mental notes of what I want to do. And even then I try not to overload myself with more than 2 or 3 things. But there's some days like we made mochi yesterday and I had stuff in my head that I was like, I want to get this done. I want to get this done too. And I just didn't because we made mochi for like 8 hours. I don't even know how long we were there because we have to clean up after, but like 8 hours, I will say is as a guesstimate. We were there for like 8 hours. And so of course I'm not going to get anything else done that day because I'm exhausted after that. Right. So I still leave space and wiggle room for things. And if I don't get something done, it's not a big deal. But when I have a schedule going and it's not a holiday time and I'm just doing my work and then trying to keep up with my YouTube stuff, I make my list. So I have my daily 3 things, my weekly 3 things, and then my monthly 3 things. And those all, hopefully, if I plan it out correctly, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, why did I make that a goal and then I didn't do anything for it? It's because I didn't break it down further. But it's like they each build on each other and it makes it more manageable to kind of accomplish what you want to accomplish and get done. But yeah, this journal kind of has a space for me to do all of that. So it's called the Malong Diary. It's that little bunny guy. And I love that it has a little bookmark tassel so I keep the tassel like with what week I'm at. And then for my month, I have these really cool, I'm pretty sure my mom got it for me, this magnetic like bookmark. So I just put that, one side is where the month is and the other side is where my checklist of things I want to get done that month are. And so that kind of just helps me keep track of everything and I can find everything super easy, keep note of what I have to get done that day, stuff like that. And then something else I really love is just like the BTS season greetings, diaries and journals that I have. There's like a little notes section in the back, which is super nice. And so I had one where like I wrote something down and I like ripped it out, I wrote a little letter to myself, slept on it. I don't know. I believe in like little spiritual things like that. Or I have my Hello 2023 letter that I wrote, and like just excited. So I think I wrote that the day of the January 1st, 2023. And then I have a note that I wrote for myself, like just how I was feeling the day of the solar eclipse, back in October. And then on the next page, I'm going to write my thank you to 2023 Mikaela and goodbye to 2023. And in my new journal, I will be writing my hello 2024, which is insane that it's already 2024. But yeah, that's how I know this is a super rambly video. That's just kind of, I knew that was going to be the nature of this because I didn't really go with it with a plan. I just was like, let me talk about this and see if it might help anyone. I'm going to quietly read to myself what I wrote for my Hello 2023 and just kind of make sure that there's nothing crazy in there, and maybe I'll read it out loud. I don't know. Cute. Okay, I'm not going to read this one out loud. It's just too personal. But it's basically just me talking about how excited, and I don't know if this is like a weird thing to do, but I talked about it as if I'm talking to the year 2023, and I basically said like, I'm really excited to work with you this year. I'm excited we're gonna get this done and this done and this done. If you like know manifestation, or like you've watched or listened to the podcast where I talk about how I feel about manifestation and what it means to me, I basically just did a lot of that where I talked about like, I'm going to be overflowing with success and happiness and confidence, and I'm excited to see how far I can go this year and work together with you and to live as who I've always been meant to be. And basically, I was just really excited and saying that I have a good feeling and just like saying, like, hey, 2023, let's work together. Let's make this happen. Let's do this. And it just gets me kind of pumped up for the new year. And then my last, did I write one in here? I had my thank you to myself. So I welcome the new year. I say hello to the new year at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year, I'll thank my past self. So I have my thank you 2021 Mikaela. I had a lot happen that year, so I'm not going to read this out loud for sure. But I just kind of wrote about things that I started to do, things that I was just to tell yourself you're proud of yourself and what you've accomplished and like wow, how far you've come. And yeah, it may have been hard, but look at all of this that you've accomplished. You've done so well. I'm really excited for you and I'm proud of you and I'm hopeful for what happens now. I wrote like, I'm so proud of you and I love you and you can rest now. I'll take it from here. And thank you for staying as long as you did. That's how I ended that letter. It was a rough year for me personally. So I just telling the past self like, hey, it's okay to move on now because like 2021 Mikaela, you've done your work. It's the end of the year. It's your turn to rest. I'm 2022 Mikaela or about to be 2022 Mikaela at the time when I was writing it. And it's my turn to take over. And then I took over and then I welcomed the new year. I think I thanked 2020 because I don't have my 2022 journal with me, so it's in there somewhere. I'm not going to go find it. I'm sure in that I then welcomed the new 2022 and then thanked 2022 Mikaela and then said 2023 Mikaela's gonna take it on from here. And so I will, on New Year's Eve, probably in the morning, I will take some time out of my morning to just reflect and thank 2023 Mikaela because she's still here right now, but she's about to be gone. And let her know that it's her turn to go rest and hang out. And that 2024 Mikaela is about to take over. And I'm excited to see what happens. I've done a lot this year, specifically within the last few months, really. I mean, I did a lot this past year, this 2023, in terms of my day job and growing there and growing more confidence in myself and even in my acting abilities, and growing my network a little bit. I've grown so much more than I ever thought was possible. And then come October, I started doing this and making videos and redoing, like starting up my podcast again and adding an element to it. And I did a lot this year. And I was excited last year to see where things were going, but I think I was also really stressed. This year, I was stressed up until I finished my last week of work before this break. Not my last week of work ever. Going back for sure. And I even have new things, like I'm going to be teaching another class later. I have so many plans now. And I think this is one of the first years in a while where I've just fully felt excited, but also ready. I'm not scared or anxious about what the new year is bringing. Like, I'm excited. Like, genuinely. And I mean, when I was writing my last letter, oh, it's in here. It's in this one. When I was writing my hey 2023, like welcome to you, let's work together, let's do some stuff. Like I was very excited, and but I was also very very anxious. And I'm very excited and happy that this year I will just be going into the new year with this feeling of I feel like I can kind of do anything. And I'm like genuinely truly excited to see how far I will go. I feel that way every year, but this year especially, just seeing what I've already done with the last, not even half of this year, like less than that, since October. How much I was able to accomplish and get done is insane to me. And it's like, wow, when I really put my mind to things and really just believe in myself and go for it, I really can do things. And I'm gonna like take time before I write my welcome 2024 letter, and I'll do that on the day of, but when I think this past year's Mikaela, like I'm going to take my time and really just read through what I've done all these days. Like there's pages and pages and pages of things I've done, and like see what I've like I have a record of what I've accomplished, and it's exciting, and it's just very promising for the new year. And I'm just like I'm just genuinely really really excited. And I think that this journal plays a big part of that. I mean, me and my own growth obviously plays a huge part in it too. I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't pushing myself the way that I have been. But I'm just excited. And it's kind of the best feeling I've ever had. I haven't felt like this in a while on it for a new year. And is there a part of me that's very sad and it's closing a chapter? Yeah. And I'll reflect on that and not confront, but I'll really feel those feelings when I'm writing my goodbye letter to this past year's Mikaela and thanking her for what she did. Um, but I'm excited to start this new chapter, maybe even a new book. At this point, I feel like it might be a new book. I don't think it's just a new chapter. I just, I have the best feelings about this upcoming year. I'm really coming into my own. I feel like I still feel like a kid, but I feel like I'm more like an adult than I've ever felt in a while. And I'm getting kind of old, so not really, but yeah, I'm just excited for the new year. If you want to keep a journal, you can try what I'm doing instead of doing feeling like if you've tried feeling journals in the past and they haven't worked for you, don't. Like if you've tried it over and over and it's not working, then it means you need to change something up. So let's change it up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if it'll help anyone, but if it does, or it sounds like an interesting way to do your new journal, do that. Or even if that wasn't helpful, but like if you want to start keeping track of, like if you watch a lot of TV or you watch a lot of film or whatever you're watching, like I have separate sections. Like I have an anime section, I have my K drama section, I have like a reality, like I have reality TV in there. Anything I watch, I put it in there. I had a film section, and if you watch a lot of stuff and you want to keep track of that and how you felt about it, and like I have like I can mark things as my favorite so I can go back to them if I want to, stuff like that. Or I use those, like I use that as a pool of like, oh, when I'm doing like K-drama review podcast episodes, I go back there and I'm like, what were my favorites? What have I not reviewed yet that I'd like to maybe go back and rewatch? Or how did I feel about it? Like stuff like that. If you want to use something like that, if you want to just start keeping track of, I don't know, your workouts or whatever you want. If any of this is helpful to you, that's really awesome. That's kind of the goal of the whole thing. But also, if it wasn't helpful for you, or you have your own method of journaling or keeping track of your days or whatever it is, I just hope that you're able to take some time today and reflect on the past you and thank the past you for what they went through, for what they've accomplished, for how far they've come, and to let them know that now you're the new you, the new year, new you is ready to kind of take over the reins, step into the driver's seat, and take over, and that they can take a step back now. I think it's important to thank the past you, but also to let go of what you did just because it's time to let it go, you know? And if you don't celebrate like the New Year that like the world celebrates at the same time, like if you're more of like that's not really the end or the start for me, it's the Lunar New Year, or I don't know if there's other days, there probably are. But if that's more of your vibe and that's what you do, like I honestly kind of have, I just do like a double New Year for myself. Like I follow all the superstitions for Lunar New Year and stuff. And then for New Year's Day is when I just kind of reflect on the past year, just because like calendar year, that's how it goes. This is not important. But maybe just when it's your turn to say goodbye to the past year and welcome in the new year, really take the time to do that and to thank your past you and to welcome in the new year. I don't think like maybe it's a little weird to personify the year as its own thing, but I think just saying like, hey, I'm open to new things, or this is what I'm excited for and this is what I'm open to and I hope we can work together on that to welcome in the new year. Like I don't think it hurts. It's kind of fun and it's nice, and it's definitely created a positive environment for me this past year. So I don't think it hurts anything. Maybe it helps. I don't know. But take the time to reflect, take the time to thank yourself, take the time to let go, relax, and get ready to jump into your new year, however that is you want to do, whether that's with love, with excitement, whether it's a little bit of dread mixed in there, whether it's a little sadness mixed in there, whether you're ready to get a lot done this next upcoming year, or whether it's your time, you're like, hey, I've been doing too much. This is my time to focus on slowing down and relaxing a little bit. Maybe that's your new thing. I don't know. But I just think it's a good time to reflect, to let go, and to really just be proud and congratulate yourself on making it through another year, because it's hard. It's rough out here, guys. Um, yeah, just take care of yourself, thank yourself, and be proud of what you've accomplished so far. Whether you feel like it's been a lot or it hasn't, maybe even just writing down stuff that you've done, even little things, might be helpful. I don't know. But I think it's important to just take time to reflect, and I think this is a good time to do that. But yeah, sorry, this is kind of more of a rambling one. I just kind of wanted to talk about what I do and reflect on what I've done and accomplished a little bit without getting too personal, because some of it's just I can't, I'm not, sorry, like I'm sharing a lot of myself on the internet at this point, but there's some of it that I just am not ready for, or maybe won't ever be ready for. But yeah, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, evening, night, morning, whatever it may be for you. And I hope you have the most amazing new year, and that you're closing out this past year with like a nice little bookend. And that you're ready to open up this new chapter or new book or new series. I don't know, however you want to phrase it. I hope you're ready. And even if you're not, that's okay too. The new year will greet you with whatever energy you greet it with. And so give it what you need back. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for listening. And I will see you next time. Love, Mikaela. Bye. Happy New Year.